Hey guys, it's your girl Alicia, and I'm on here. Just wanted to share my testimony. Yes, maybe about a week before Christmas, I went to my job's cafeteria. I had lunch, some rice, some beans and fried chicken, and went home, cooked dinner and everything, and went on my day. But anyway, what happened was once I got home, I started to get this pain below my chest area, right in the middle of my stomach. And the pain wouldn't go away. I tried to medicate it with Tylenol. I tried to take Aleve. I tried to take Pepto-Bismol, and the pain wouldn't go away. So, as the days went on, I'm now in my third day. As the days went on, I began to, tell my family and my mom. I said, listen, I'm starting to feel this pain. It's not going away. It's right in the middle of my stomach. So my mom is telling me, go to the ER. And I'm like, no, I don't want to go to the ER because I don't want to deal with any ER problems. I don't want to be held, like that. So long story short. So basically, the pain kept, progressing. I'm that person that I will tolerate pain. I don't like to take anything. So when I start taking pills and I start taking, trying to take other things to medicate it, something's wrong. I even tried laxatives thinking that maybe I could flush it out of my system, but that didn't work either. So, with that being said, I just wanted to, just check on myself, make sure I was okay, because the pain was persisting from level from 1 being no pain to level 10 being, high pain. My pain was it went from a 5 to an 8 overnight. And, it was intolerable. I could not sleep. I couldn't eat anything. Everything that I tried to eat wouldn't stay down. So throughout the time, my mom is telling me, go to the hospital. And I'm like, no, I don't want to go to the hospital. There's got to be another way. So now I'm up to the 4th day. So the 4th day, I'm still trying to push myself to go to work, and I can't go to work because I keep calling out sick. So finally, I took myself to the doctors. I went to an urgency center. Sorry about those little buzzes. They keep coming through in those little messages. But finally, I took myself to the doctor. I took myself to the urgency center. Went to the urgency center. They ran all these tests, took blood work, told me to, do a urine test. We're going to test to see if you're pregnant. And we're going to do this test. We're going to do a urinology to see if it's your thyroids and all this other stuff. And I had all these things checked out because every year I go and I get myself checked out. But it was none of those things. And quite frankly, the urgency center basically sent me home with a few pills just to they were like antibiotics. But that wasn't working either, because by the time I got home, I could barely stand up. The pain was so excruciating. It was so intense that, I couldn't even lay down or stand up straight. So I was really miserable. But what I wanted to say was, I did say a quick prayer, and I said, God, whatever this is, I pray that it's not anything major. And if it is something that is going to be major, please let me be able to bear it and get through it. I am a believer, and I've had faith in God for many years. I'm an adamant Christian, and been in ministry for 30 years. So, anything that happens to me, I always put trust in God that He's going to bring me through. So with that being said, I went home, and then I kept complaining, and I called my mom, and my mom was like, listen, this is it. You need to go into the ER. So finally, I dragged myself to the ER. I drove myself to the ER, to a local hospital near my house. And, I began to explain the pain, because the pain was circulating right here. And I said, I began to explain the pain to them. And they said, okay, sit in the ER. So I sat in the ER for 5 hours in pain, excruciating pain. They didn't give me any medicine. They didn't give me any needles, nothing. I was just sitting there. So, of course, I'm upset and I really want to, go off on somebody. But the God in me told me, sit still. I'm going to send you some help. So I finally got the attention of the nurses and I told them, listen, I'm in pain. I really do need some assistance. So to make a long story short, I said that before, but my stories are always, long. You'll get to know me and you'll get to know that my stories are long. But anyway, so I spoke to the nurse. I said I need to see the doctor and I need to know what's going on like now. So finally, they sent the doctor around to me. I explained my symptoms and condition and how I felt. And I also complained about how they left me sitting in a chair for 5 hours with no medical assistance. And so the doctor began to order these tests on me. They ordered blood work again. I had an ultrasound. I had an MRI, CAT scan. So finally, I had to wait another hour for that to come back. So after that hour, the doctor, asked for the nursing assistant to place me into a room. And I went into a room and then he said, sit down, I want to talk to you. And he basically said, we found out that, you have gallstones. And I said, yes, I know. I've been suffering with gallstones for most of my life, so I'm going to tell my age. Most women don't tell their age. I'm 40. I just turned 40. But I've been suffering with, like the gallstones in my stomach since I was 14 years old. There were times where I had episodes where I would, eat something spicy or something fried and then it would react in my system and I would go to the ER and they would tell me, well, stop eating the food. And then, I would go home and then the minute that I would, be disobedient and not listen, I would eat, something fried or, drink milk or whatever that would trigger it. And, consistently, they told me as long as they don't bother you, you don't have to get them removed. So periodically throughout my life, I've always had problems with the gallstones. I've always had, an issue where, they would, act out and, I would eat something and, it would, hurt my back or my stomach would be in a lot of pain. And therefore, I had to go through that. But, never in my life did I experience me going into a hospital and me actually going through what I went through. So after they gave me the diagnosis, they said, okay, you have, the gallstones in your stomach. And they are in your stomach, but they actually are created inside of your gallbladder. And so this is what happened. They were in your gallbladder. You ate something to trigger them to come out of your gallbladder and go into your pancreas. So one came shooting out of the gallbladder and trickled down into your pancreas and got stuck. And it got stuck in between the pancreas and between your other, digestive places. And they began to back up all the fluids and the juices inside of your system, inside of your stomach, inside of your large intestine and small intestine. And I said, oh my God, what do we do? He said, well, now you're at a space where we don't feel comfortable releasing you. So I said, okay, you don't feel comfortable releasing me. What is it? What is the diagnosis? And they said, you have gallstone pancreatitis, meaning that your pancreas is inflamed now. And if we release you from the hospital, then you're going to wind up going to into like a septic or into like, a toxic problem where, it can be, fatal. So I said to them, well, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to think about it. And as I thought about it, I said, okay, what's the next step? Because the first thing I thought, I was like, wow, I ate that crazy food from the cafeteria and now everything is acting up on me. So what happened was, they said to me, they said, listen, you now have inflammation in your pancreas, is now affecting 2 organs. We're going to have to give you something to drink, give you something to eat, and then we're going to perform surgery. Now, mind you, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm sitting there at the table. I'm sitting there in the room by myself, no one around, and they're telling me in less than 2 hours, they're going to send down 2 surgeons to cut me open. So I'm already in panic mode, and I'm saying to myself, oh no one's gonna cut me open. I'm not having it, and I need a second opinion before anybody does anything to me. I need a second opinion. So I told them, being that I work for a hospital already across town, I told them, I said, listen, I'm signing myself out AMA. I'm not staying here because I'm asking you guys questions, and you guys are not answering my questions. And I'm telling you where, when, what, where, how big are the gallstones? What is my level of, pancreas inflammation? I was just going on a tangent because I was panicking and I was very upset. And, even though I was praying within myself, you have to say to yourself and be real. Like, listen, at the end of the day, I do believe and trust in the Lord, but at the same time, you have a natural, you have natural sensors inside yourself that say, hey, listen, this is an emergency. So, to make a long story short, I contacted my mother. My mom came in. She said, what do you want to do? I said, Ma, get the AMA papers. I signed those papers. I spoke to the doctor. He turned around. He came running back over to that room to me and put his hand on his, waist and said, listen, I am not authorizing you to leave. You need to stay here. And I told him, no, the devil is a liar. I'm not staying in this hospital with you guys, because you guys don't know that I had some issues with that hospital. I had family members who were treated in that hospital, and when they left out of there, they were worse. Some people didn't make it out of that hospital. I don't want to give the hospital name, but some people didn't make it out of that hospital because of, just the medical treatment and over medicating people and performing surgeries on folks. And, the surgeries didn't go well. They went horrible, leaving instruments in people's bodies. And so I said, no, I don't want no parts of this hospital. And I told them to sign me out. And I went across town to the hospital that I work at. So mind you, when I went over to the next hospital, because I left so, abruptly, I didn't get a chance to get my medical records and my test results from the other hospital, which I encourage you guys to do. Anytime you feel like you want to leave out of one hospital, you feel like they're not giving you, primary care, and you don't really, trust the medical team, you could always ask for your test results, your blood work. You could ask for your x-rays, all that to be, you could pick them up, take them with you, and bring them to another hospital or another facility that you do trust. So with that being said, when I got to my job, they put me in the ER. I was sitting in the ER for about maybe 5 hours. They were transferring me from room to room. I had, I had spoke to the medical doctor that was there, because mind you, when you go into a hospital, sometimes you don't see the doctor. You see interns and students, but they don't tell you that. So I saw, one of the 3rd level interns, which he's a resident. So basically, he came in, he was really nasty to me, and he was like, listen, I'm going to tell you that, if you came from another facility, we need those records. And I said, listen, I'm really, really sick, and I came over here because I trust you guys more. And number 2, I'm an employee here, so, I don't appreciate how you're talking to me. So he had to change his tone. And when he began to change his tone, I began to tell him that I've already been tested for this and that, but I need a second opinion and third opinion before I let anybody cut on me. So praise be to God, I found, a few of the staff members who were willing to work with me. They ran a few more tests on me and still found out that I had the gallstones and the pancreatitis, and that I needed emergency surgery. So, I began to pray. My mom and I, we grabbed hands and we prayed. And, so basically the gallstones that I had in my system for over 14, 15, even 20 years, I don't know how long I had them, they had erupted and they began to affect the other organs in my body. But I'm so grateful to God that, they caught it in time and that I was hospitalized so that I could get the proper care and treatment before it got worse. So, therefore they hospitalized me. I went there Friday morning into Saturday. And they hospitalized me from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because they had to put me under observation. I was under observation on NPO. I couldn't eat. I couldn't drink anything for 3 days. I had the normal saline hanging back, the bag hanging from above me on a pole. And nurses, doctors, and all staff members had to come and watch me. They had to draw my blood 10,000 times. But finally I had my procedure on Monday. It was done laparoscopically. That means that they placed 3 separate little tiny holes into my stomach on the right hand side, and then I have one hole in my belly button, which is healing. To go in to remove the gallbladder, and then to seal it up so that I would be able to continue to function and do what I need to do. So with that being said, that was all done before Christmas. They were trying to get me out before Christmas. I actually got out the hospital Christmas Eve, so I was really happy about that. But nevertheless, the procedure was done. The next day they said, listen, we're going to keep you for one more day so that you'll be able, we have to see if you could eat, liquids and solids. And I was able to eat the liquids and the solids, and, I was able to go home. So mind you, what I did was, I stayed on a vegetable diet. My mom, she's so cool. She made me this really cool vegetable soup, recipe. And I ate that, with some crackers for like maybe 8 days until my stomach, began to, develop its best coating and, get back to normal. So basically, I just wanted to share that message because, I'm like post-surgery, maybe about, I think, 3 weeks. And I'm feeling good. I'm watching what I eat. I'm trying to stay away from... I'm trying to stay away from carbs and fried food and sweets. I'm doing the best I can. I'm not feeling any pain. I'm feeling quite fine. I started walking. I could eat regularly. But, I just wanted to share this because I had so much support and love in the hospital. I had friends and family, nurses and doctors and stuff. They came in my room lifting up their shirt, just showing me their scars. Because they told me, a lot of the ladies told me they had their gallbladder removed. And, they said, you'll be fine. I had mine removed in 1980 and 1990. And the procedure is much different than it was before. And I said, oh, wow, I wonder if my procedure was done due to the way I eat, or due to the fact that, about 3 or 4 years ago, I had lost a lot of weight. I was actually 70 pounds lighter. And I said, sometimes they say that, the gallstones grow because you're heavier or you lose a lot of weight, or you gain a lot of weight, or just your eating habits. But sometimes, your gallbladder is removed, based on if you drink, or if you you develop, just different, different other illnesses that can create the gallstones in your body. And, they just want us to be careful and be safe and, get a checkup and have a gastro doctor on site for yourself. That way you could go and get, tested and, checked every single 6 months to a year. And that way you can catch these problems. But thank God that, my situation wasn't worse. And, even though I had to have surgery, I was under anesthesia, the surgery went well. I was in surgery for about 3 hours, and they rolled me into the recovery room. I didn't have any other problems except for, me being a little, nostalgic and a little dizzy, and cross-eyed once I got out of out of the place. Out of the surgery. But anyway, my gallstones were the size of a quarter, and they had to crush down 2 of them because I had 3. So they had to crush down 2, and they said they're gonna let those pass, through my body normally, and they removed 1. They removed the one that was giving the most problems and causing a lot of the backup. So with that being said, I just want to, encourage the women out here to just take care of your bodies. A lot of things don't start acting up on you until you hit that 40 mark. So I'm just praying that I don't have any more problems. But, I just want you to be aware. Keep, check up on yourself, every year, schedule a checkup. Give yourself a time, and it's, as we schedule our hair appointments and makeup and all that other stuff, let's just take care of our bodies and take care of our minds and take care of our kids and our family. And, just use my story as an example of how at any moment, in a twinkle of an eye, you could be having a wonderful day and going along your routine, and then something happens in your body that is undetectable. You're not getting any symptoms from it prior to that. And then all of a sudden, that little secret thing inside your body just grows and then it shows up. So, I just want to encourage a lot of the young women out here who hear my story. I know it's long, but, I am trying to live a better life in 2020. And I thank goodness I'm not feeling any pain, anymore when I eat. And that, sometimes God will allow things like this to happen to help heal your body, because you never know what's going on in your body. So I'm just so grateful, for all the love and the support and the people who were down for me and the people who said I've been through it and I experienced it, and I had to have this and that done. And I'm grateful for the team and the staff that was there for me, who took care of me and, let me know that, this can be normal for a lot of women out there in the world who, have to have gallbladder surgery. And that was my story. So, I love you guys, and I want you guys to be successful and you rock this year. But most importantly, take care of your health. Some people, they exercise, they work out and all that. I have people come to me and say, I work out every day and I eat properly and I'm on a green leaf diet and all these other diet concoctions that they made. But they still had to have their gallbladder removed, because sometimes there's underlying things in your body that we don't attend to and we don't see. And trust me, I'm the type of woman, I get a checkup, full body checkup, every year. And I knew the gallstones were in there, but who knew they were going to come out to play? Who knew that they were going to actually come out to play? So, I just give God the glory, because I'm trying to be real on my channel and tell people that I am a believer, I am saved. And if you want to call me, text me, message me on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, however you can reach me, and you want to talk about your, the gallstones, gallbladder, any stomach problems you may have. Even if you want to just reach out and say, hey, sis, I just want to pray about some personal things going on in my life that I haven't told nobody about my body, and I really want help on that. Please feel free to let me know, reach out, and I'm here for you, girl. Trust me, and I'm here for you, guy. If you want to reach out to me on a serious note. I am a counselor, I am a believer, I am saved, born again, been in church my whole life. But, like I said before, God wants us to take care of the temple, and he wants us to, make others aware that, sometimes in life things will happen to get your attention. So with that being said, this is your girl, Alicia. Thank you for stopping by my channel. I pray for everybody to have a blessed, safe, and healthy, and happy, and wealthy, prosperous year. And, I look forward to talking to you guys in the future. God bless. Have a great day. Bye-bye.